gets into the Wolverine character, and when he first found out he was being Wolverine, he was talking about, how he has to have that rage that just comes out all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And he said that in order to get that rage, what he would do is he'd be like reading his lines, and he'd just get in the shower with all of his clothes on and everything, and just turn the water on as cold as it could go, and just let it wash over him. And that was his reaction, as in the scenes where he just all of a sudden all of his muscles are like all taut and he's like screaming. That was his reaction when he was just had cold water dumped on him, and he was like, I'm going to use that. And that's how he became this crazy man.
I'm going to admit something right now. A lot of people are going to think I'm kidding. You don't know how many times after I get done working out, pumping the weights pretty hardcore,
right.
I'll go upstairs, rip my shirt off in the mirror, and do that
Wolverine
pose, like I'm
nice.
jumping out of the water, and just kind of like, I hope my wife doesn't walk up here.
Right.
Yeah,
you kind of hope she does, yeah.
No, I'm telling you, man. My wife, I get done working out, I'll purposely go walk by her with my shirt off, and when I'm done working out, I'm jacked up. Like my chest is like I work out hard.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
She don't care.
Right.
She has no. She's just. In fact, it's kind of like. Can you move out of the way? I'm watching TV.
Right. I gotta watch this.
The TV.
Right.
I'm like, really? I'm fake bending over, picking up quarters in front of you.
Right.
Like, look at my butt cheeks. Nothing.
See, now if you picked him up with your butt cheeks, that would probably be different, right?
I reserve that for picking up the grape. All right. Yeah. Let's do a station break since we rarely do that, and we should. First of all, if you're looking for the time, please go look at a clock. And one day we're going to get thrown off the air just because of that. Like,
yeah.
Why do you guys not have your show anymore? We refuse to say the time.
Tell the time. Yeah,
just look at your clock. I again, my thought process on that. No one tunes into the show to find out the time.
I hope that somebody writes us an email at some point and says, like, I do, in fact, tune in because I never know what time it is.
How dare you, sir? I actually do tune into your show just to hear the time.
I am offended by that.
I'm offended.
Right.
I've been disappointed every time.
Right.
But I will tune in again next week.
Right.
This is 94.3 FM, WXMR. And let's do a couple sponsors. We should definitely give some love to the sponsors. Here you go, buddy.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Joe's Place, serving pizza and other Italian specialties to the Marengo Union area for over 21 years. Call them at 815-568-2500.
And we got Your Supply Depot Limited, Army-Navy store providing the Chicagoland area with military goods, cutlery, paintball gear, hunting, camping, and outdoor equipment. Located at 207 East Grant Highway, phone number 568-4115, or visit them on the web at yoursupply.com.
And hey, everybody, give some love to the sponsors. They keep the show going. And they keep this radio station going. And again, this is 94.3 FM, WXMR. All right, Josh, what do you got for us tonight? I'm always intrigued. My wife was here, as you guys, as the repeat offenders know, my wife was here with my daughter a few weeks ago, and she was shocked by it. I can't remember. I think she said it before the show. But she was like, you guys really don't talk before the show. And I'm like, no, we don't. I don't know what he's going to say. He doesn't know what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
And that's the way we want it. We got to go for 2 hours.
Yeah.
We don't want to exhaust everything we're going to talk about before the show starts. So Josh and I are good friends, but it's funny because when we get here, it's almost like we ignore each other.
We totally. I sit here and I look at my phone, whatever, and then we talk to Jamie, the station manager, and that's pretty much it. But we try and keep everything low key. It's all like just kind of like, oh, this is the same conversation I had with a guy when I was waiting at the train station.
It's very, hey, what's up? But don't answer that question.
Right, yeah, what's up? But I don't actually want to know what's up. So
I was actually even going to talk about my allergies before the show, and I'm like, no, because maybe I can talk about that on the show. And then you brought it up, and I'm like, okay, good. Good thing we didn't talk about it before the show.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and then one thing we actually did start to talk about, and then we stopped, going into success, is I was talking about the stock market. The stock market, obviously, it's seen better days, let's put it that way.
Yeah.
I don't play the stock market. I assume that's how we refer to it, playing the stock market. But I see that. I mean, it's dropping hugely. Mm-hmm. Now, you are into the stock market, correct?
I am. I'm definitely an amateur, though.
Right.
I have seen very good success with the stock market.
Yeah.
A lot of it research, some of it just blind luck. I'll fully admit, I don't know exactly what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But I've just been lucky enough to kind of research a stock and go, that seems like a good one, or I hear some good news about it, I'll put some money in it, and then I just know when to get out.
Yeah.
So I've made I've made actually some decent coin in the stock market.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So has this affected you in any way? This whole 568 points, is that what it was?
Yeah. I think something like 700 today or
Oh,
something.
was it?
Like
I
that.
didn't see today's. Yeah.
Yes, and yes and no. And here's the right answer to this, and trust me on this. Here's the sad thing though, that I'm not an expert, so someone even might be listening and go, Scott has no idea what he's talking about, and you're right in a big sense. But one of the things I do know for sure, you don't lose anything unless you sell. Okay, so history will repeat itself. It does every single time. This has happened over and over again, and it'll happen again. Right? You don't sell. This is the time, this is the part that saddens me, is because, I know for a fact, I haven't looked at it because I don't want to know.
Right.
But I haven't looked at my retirement funds and things like that. But I know they've taken a hit. They cannot not take a hit.
Yeah.
When something like this happens. So, but I haven't lost anything because I'm not selling right now. Now, what I hear, though, is I've read several stories of people who this is happening and people are selling. Don't ever sell. It will recover. It always does. History, you could look back on it. This happens all the time, and then history repeats itself. It recovers. So you don't lose anything so the only people who are losing money right now are the people that are selling when this is bombing like this. Okay. Hold. Or if you have the available funds, this is the time. You know how
buy.
people become rich?
Yeah.
This is the people are buying right now. Buying. Buy at the all-time lows. This will recover. These people are going to be multimillionaires.
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
And now, as far as that goes, you say don't sell, etc., and you won't lose money. But
Right.
was there ever a time, and this is something I legitimately have no idea about, was there ever a time when like a stock just reaches zero, and then let's say the company goes bankrupt, and then what happens? I mean, then you would lose money, right?
Yeah, I had. Thank God, it was very little money in a stock.
Yeah.
I don't even remember the stock name. This was a few years ago. When I say little money, under 1,000. I mean, it was.
Yeah.
I didn't have much in it, but that happened, and I lost my $1,000 or whatever I put in it. You know?
Yeah.
It was under 1,000, but whatever it was, I lost it. Yeah, so it's done.
Which is it, and I think that's what scares people. I mean, that would scare me. Obviously, I'm not. I don't have a lot of money, and I'm not that big of a gambler in that regard. I mean, in other regards, yes, I am. But yeah, I mean, that's what I think. At this point, I think I would be like, oh no, get rid of it, unload it, get it out of here. Yeah.
It's just that's when you're going to lose.
Yeah.
Like I'm not retiring for many years from now, so it's almost a non-issue. You just kind of like ignore it and just keep investing and keep investing. I have the money taken out of my check every week. It goes right into my funds, and I'm also actually open. I wish I had I'm saving up to open a different type of fund right now.
Uh-huh.
Where I'm going to invest heavily into that, and I wish I had it now because it's so low. You'd
be banking it, right?
I'd be banking it right now. On another end, like I bought this stock. I don't know. I'll admit 100% it's a spec stock. I don't know anything about it. I've done little research on it. The only thing that I do know is that a year ago it was at $1.20 per share. Okay. 5 years ago, it was at $30 a share. Right now, it's at .0004 a share. So for less than $400, I was able to buy 951,000 shares of this company.
Holy cow.
Read a little bit about it. Again, I haven't even done that much research, but with $400 investment, less than a $400 investment, if somehow this stock goes back to $1.20 where it was a year ago, I'm a millionaire.
Yeah.
See? So it's look. What's the worst that can happen? I lose $400. Not even $400.
Yeah, right.
What's the best that can happen? If it goes up to 50 cents a share, $500,000 I'll have.
Holy
so
cow.
it's the company itself is still existing. It's still working. It's still part of it had something to do with the Ebola virus, and that's why it went up and whatever it was.
Yeah.
But again, I don't know that much about it. Now, usually I put more research when I buy a stock. But I was like, $400. All right, whatever.
Yeah.
Let's just see. Like,
See
it
what
really
happens,
is
right.
a spec stock because I have no. I will lose 400 if I lose.
Right.
I have a lot to gain. If it goes up to a penny, I make $10,000.
Holy cow.
See what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
because it's less. It's far less than a penny right now per share.
Yeah.
So that's why I was able to buy 951,000 shares. So that to me is just like leave it in there. and just see what happens.
Right.
I check it daily, but I'm always waiting to see, like, if it goes up to 50 cents, if it goes up to 10 cents, 20 cents. Like, it could be a big one. Now, it might take a year, it might take 2 years, 10 years, or not at all. But, again, I think it's a worthy investment. I mean, the most I can
absolutely.
lose is less than $400.
Now, at what point do you say, I mean, like, because obviously you just have to kind of watch the trends and everything, figure out when the best time to get in and out is and stuff. But, I mean, like, at what point with this stock would you finally just be like, is there a certain monetary amount where you'd say, okay, at this amount, I'm selling no matter what?
Well, it'd be hard to say because a lot of it depends on how fast it's moving.
Right.
Okay. Now, if in one day it went up to the 50 cents and I had 500,000 in there, that's a tough one. And now I don't think it's going to shoot to 50 cents. It's going to be a slow climb. I'd be willing to go, maybe I should wait to see what happens tomorrow.
Right.
But I'd hate for it
to drop back down. Right.
And it'd be a tough one. Maybe I'd sell half of my shares.
Yeah.
And that way I'd have.
Oh, then you still have some left. Yeah.
Yeah, 250,000, and then. So it just depends on how fast. Now I can tell you if it ever gets to that $1 or $1.20 and I'm a millionaire, I'm selling it.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Like, I'm done.
Right. You're not going to be like, I'll wait another a couple minutes and see.
Yeah. You know that office and the window and the pond. I won't be working there anymore.
You'll be like, I own this place, but I'm working somewhere else.
Right.
Yeah.
So. That's a tough one because it all depends on the speed of it.
Yeah.
If it happened in one day, sell.
Oh, yeah.
If it was like slow climb, I'd probably just kind of wait it out. But again, it does depend.
Okay.
I'd like to walk away a millionaire.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Now, if it goes up to 30 shares, I couldn't even figure that out on the
right.
I'm sorry, $30.
Yeah.
I think it was like $280 million.
Oh, my God.
It was some insane amount of money.
Right.
And I was like, and that's where it was 5 years ago. And the company's still in business.
Yeah.
So
there is potential, right?
There's potential. And I was reading some things about it, like the things that they're selling and the things that they're doing. So they have growth plans. I don't know if anybody's listening out there in the stock market. If you want to email the Scott Ford Show at yahoo.com. Again, that's the Scott Ford Show at yahoo.com. The stock, the ticker is SIMH. That's SIMH. That's the name of the company. Maybe I can inspire people to buy some shares so my stock goes up a little bit.
Right, exactly, yeah.
SIMH. If you're listening, again, I admit I am very much an amateur. But if you know anything about that stock, if you have any inside information or any thoughts about it, email us at the Scott Ford Show at yahoo.com. I'd like to hear your thoughts on it. But again, I think anybody that would be listening go, it's worth $400 and just see what happens.
Right. Yeah. What now? How did you get into the whole stock market thing? I mean, just
I get that question a lot, and it's funny because I know I talk about it here and there on Facebook, and I've seen good success. I mean, just little investments, and then walking away with like $13,000, and then things like that, So I'm definitely not rich off of the stock market, but again, I have retirement investments that are obviously way up there, and then I call this almost like play money for me. I'm just playing around in the stock market. How I got into it was it's just I wanted to make more money. I wanted my money to make money,
right?
And it was just. The very bare bones basics of it was I would just look up stocks. You could just go to yahoo.com and just look up stocks and just type in anything. And I would just randomly pick stocks. I wonder, I go to this company. Let's see what their stock looks like. And I would just start to like that.
Yeah.
And then I started using fake money, like play money in my head. So let's say if I had $1,000 or $5,000, all fake, right, on paper. And if I bought some shares of this and some shares of this, and let's just see what happens in the next few days. And I would just do it like that.
Oh, and just kind of watch it as it goes. Yeah,
and it's one of those things like we talked about. If you want to learn something, you just jump in the pool and just see what happens, right? So it's funny when you start doing that, I would start to go, this stock looks pretty good. And I'd start to do research on it, and I'd start to look at this. And so then I was getting pretty good at play money. And then I'm like, okay, now it's time to really put up or shut up. Let's put some of my own money in, and that's what I started doing. And then, and again, not hugely successful at the stock market. I'm definitely not rich from it, but for the little I've put in, I've definitely walked away with a lot of money.
That's kind of nice, yeah. I mean, it's like playing the lottery, except on a much different. Where you can see trends and whatnot.
You could see trends. You could follow trends. You could kind of make educated guesses. You could just say this stock was here a year ago or 6 months ago. Why is it down now? And if you can't really find a reason, and the company seems to be doing good, maybe throw some money in there and watch it climb back up. So yeah, just kind of jumping in and just getting involved in it. Just